Hey, good morning. This is Bob from Trade Genius, and I wanted to continue to put my thoughts out what's going on with this election, and and we're seeing things that usually you're not supposed to see, and I think it has a lot of critical impact for next year with our economy and our stock market. And what really caught my attention was yesterday a YouTube came out on a former FBI agent talking about having a counter coup against the Clintons. And I thought, oh, that's kind of fanciful. And then I listened to it and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I started to put the pieces together in terms of why the FBI was doing what they were doing. I mean, it's clear that Comey was just didn't feel either strong enough or willing to fight when the Department of Justice basically squatted on him with the initial indictment attempt on the Clinton emails. And I think when they had this opportunity to reinvigorate the investigation by all the emails they found on Huma Abedin's computer, he took a proactive step and made it public. And he did that so, number one is he basically safeguarded him from interference from the Department of Justice, but not completely. And I just said, oh, they'll probably just squash this thing and keep it under wraps. And then the FBI just out of the blue sent out this thing on Mark Rich and a pardon. And I'm like, that's pretty old news. It's embarrassing, And then what we find out is that this guy named Radix is the lawyer that worked with Clinton to get Mark Rich his pardon. Well, his reward was being part of the Department of Justice. And then we find out that he's the one in charge of the email investigation of Hillary Clinton. And it's just unbelievable to me that there's no morals that say that you have a conflict of interest, you have to recuse yourself from this. They just felt like, hey, no big deal. So, he can refuse to do information, he can stymie information, he can slow down information, he can recommend no charges. But then he did something else, and thank God for WikiLeaks once again. He sent a private email on his private account, you doing state business, to Podesta, giving him a heads up on what's going on with the investigation. So, we literally have an organization, and people call it a criminal organization, probably agree with that statement, that's operating basically extrajudicially to just run a government and do whatever the heck they want. And the FBI now is fighting for its life. So I think that's why they put that out there so that people can connect the dots, gives Congress a heads up, say, hey, this guy is dirty, and he's the one that's going to be in charge of us, so that we can make some noise on top of him to keep him from stymieing the investigation. So watch these chess pieces in motion. It would be fascinating and really fun if it wasn't really how important it is for our country. And I think this war has just begun. I literally think the FBI is now backed into a corner where they're going to be compromised forever, or they can have an opportunity here to come forward and really, really, show the American people that they're independent out to the political establishment, Republican or Democrat alike. I don't care. Corruption is corruption, and I think people are done with it. And I know I am. People just they just feel that they can just steal and take. I mean, this is how far down the rabbit hole we've gone. And when these things happen, look at third world countries. Are they successful? No. And we're becoming one fast in many ways. And so just keep an eye on this thing. This FBI thing is going to be huge. If Hillary wins the election, it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath. And if Trump wins the election, he has to be careful if he gets too vengeful. So either way, I just think 2017 is not going to be a fun time for any of us. We got to be really careful. Our choices and our stock choices. But, I'm telling people, look, you need to probably go to ground, go to your maximum cash position. I don't even know if gold and silver will, depending on if we get this deflation. Look at oil. Oil is just rolling over hard now, and because that's been manipulated, and the market follows oil. And so that's a big deflation. Retail is a deflation. Trade is falling is deflation because it all pushes the dollar higher. And if they can't get control of the crops with a La Nina year, food goes up, it's going to be a problem too. So, I would just be cautious if I were you. We're looking for trades. We have a big one that we think is going to be great for 2017. We'll reveal it after the election, and I think it's one that you probably can hold for a year. And especially if you own real estate, you're going to want to own this stock. Anyway, this is Bob from Trade Genius. I'll catch up with you guys tonight with my market update, but I want you to follow along with this stuff with me. It's just amazing, fascinating, and it's way more than meets the eye, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot more here in the coming days. Thanks. Bye-bye.